I've always heard of seasonal depression, and I'm pretty sure I've experienced it a time or two in my life, like briefly. I was in a relationship that wasn't the healthiest relationship for me, and it was public. Those of you that know me, you know. I now know that it was one of the enemy's tactics. The thing is, I could not leave that relationship of my own volition. Even though I did not want to be in it, I just could not leave it. Something would not let me leave that relationship. I knew nothing about soul ties, so I didn't know what was holding me or binding me to that relationship. The relationship was just, it was toxic, unclean, and unhealthy. In my brokenness, I remember vividly praying to God to save me, to pull me out of this relationship, to get me out of it, because the relationship brought me to a point in my life where, ashamed to say, I did not want to live. It was just hurtful. It was robbing me of my essence, my purity, my essence, like just everything that made me the happy girl that I am, the loving person that I am. It was robbing me of that, like in such a horrific way. Be careful who you sleep with, because sometimes you are sleeping next to a demon and you don't even know it. Like I said, one night in my brokenness, I'm praying to God. I'm just telling him he has to take me out of this relationship, because for some reason I cannot leave. I need the courage to leave. I need the courage to get out. I don't even love him. I'm just stuck here. Like, I need you to pull me out of it. Like, I always believed in God, but I didn't have a relationship with God. I knew of him because I was raised to know, oh, God exists. I was raised in church, like, you know, so I knew of him, but I didn't know him. Like, I had no personal relationship of him. It was just all like mental, like, oh, there's a God. That's what the Bible said. That's what the world says. That's what people say. There's a God. That was to the extent of my relationship. So I just believed like there's a God. And so in that brokenness, something in me, I just started praying. So about a year later, I woke up and something in me just said, today is the day. It was just like, I woke up with knowledge that today is the day. Today's the day. And sure enough, that day, I basically had a conversation with him, and he knew, like, he just knew. He was just like, you want me to leave? And I was just like, yeah, you gotta go. It was amicable. It was civil. It was just a peaceful as it can be. We were very respectful about it. You would think it stops there. Like, you would think this is where the story stops. Like, oh, okay, God did it, right? No. A part of me wished, like, hey, this is it. You moved on with your life. You started the healing process. It's over. No, that's not what happened. Depression enters the chat. And I spoke about this briefly before, but I enter a darkness I have never experienced in my life. When I say darkness, depression. In such a dark way where it was just like, end your life because it's not worth living type of darkness. Like, the enemy was in my head daily. End your life. End your life. Take your life. It's not worth living. Nothing is happening. You don't have no money. You don't have no success. Mind you, I'm on the internet inspiring people, talking to people. You don't ever know what a person is going through. You never know what a person is going through. I'm trying not to get emotional talking about this because I try not to relive that time, but the thing is, I gotta give God his glory. I have to give God his glory. Nobody knew this about me. Nobody knew this, not even my family. You know, I seriously contemplated taking my own life. Now, I know now those were never my thoughts. I was so ashamed that I kept everything a secret. Like, my suffering was in secret. When I tell you the enemy introduced depression to me in insurmountable ways in 2021, I've never, ever experienced anything like. Again, I began praying because that's what I was taught to do. Just began praying, like, for real, praying God, like, this is not normal. Something is wrong. You have to save me. Like, having thoughts of taking my own life and did it all, leaving everybody behind. You have to save me. This is not normal. This is not who I am. I didn't realize it at the time, but I started to thaw out and get back to like conscious thinking, right mind thinking. Like, no, like, why would I do that? My mindset started to change. At the time, I didn't know how. I didn't know, you know, but I now fully understand it was the peace of God that surpasses all understanding that was entering me. And in that, I started to, you know, come alive again. And this is where I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I'm going to fast forward to 2022. At the time, I was oblivious to it, but God was sending bolder signs my way that he was with me. I was oblivious to it. At first, it was subtle. At first, it was subtle. I would see signs and I would look at it like, that means something. I don't know what that means, but that means something. If I could go back and just knock myself upside the head and say, pay attention, God is talking to you, I would. It was just like sign after sign after sign. Now that I'm connecting all the pieces, I see it so clearly. He was just guiding me like, no, go here, go here. Look at this, look at this. You need to be doing this. You need to, like, it was so clear. Now it's so clear, but back then it wasn't. I forgot to mention in my prayer of telling God, like, he has to get me out of this and help me and stuff. And I was saying that I would make the next year, like the year 2022, my year of obedience. I would be obedient to God, listen to God and stuff like that, right? So I have to backtrack and mention that because it's all gonna make sense. So I start getting a bunch of signs, revelations, signs, miracles, wonders, like, you need to do this, go here. Like, and I'm saying at first it was like small signs, like God using the universe to show me small signs. I was not, you know, I was just, coincidence. Oh my God, we love to coincidence God out of a miracle, boy. Like, ooh, a word. I'm like, oh no, that's coincidence. Like, I started learning a lot in the year 2022. I started learning a lot. Started structuring my life different. Things just started changing for me. I began getting like downloads of information. Waking up, just knowing that this is what I had to do. And I was doing it. And now there were small things, but there were things. Like, where was I getting this knowledge? Where was I getting this insight from? How am I getting this? But I don't know. At that time, I don't know. I just was doing it. And I'm talking about things that people read books about learning how to do. People have to delve deep into like studying to get revelations of how to do this, how to do this. I was waking up naturally doing it. Naturally functioning my life like this because it was just in me that I had to do this. I became obsessed with affirmations. I've always known that one of my love languages is words of affirmations. I've always known that, but it came to another level. I've always been the girl that liked to speak life into people. I always like to uplift people. Like I said, I'm a naturally happy person and I'm a loving person. Always the girl, I'm influential. I speak life into people. Like I have the ability to make people really believe like you can get it, you can do it. You know, that's just my power. That's my gift. Didn't know, but now I know. I became obsessed with the power of words and the power of the tongue. But I didn't know the spiritual meaning behind your words have power. I did not know. In that sense, I did not know. So that was one of the first things God was changing in me was my speech. Internally came in me and was like, I'm changing the way you speak because you're about to change your life with your speech. I started becoming more disciplined, more structured in my life. And then I started accomplishing a lot of goals because of like how I started to structure my life. At the time, I didn't know I was like manifesting. I didn't know that I was walking into like a different trajectory of my life, like changing the fabric of my life. I was walking into higher purpose, higher consciousness, going for it. At the time, I didn't know. I was just naturally following the instructions that was in me. I started going online like, hey, I always have my tablet or a laptop or something. Let me find like a digital planner or something like that. Now, if you know me, you've heard this part of the story before. Let me find like a digital planner. Didn't find it. It was the same thing. I would have to download like 2 or 3 digital planners just to get like the one that I need because a very specific format was placed into me specifically. Remember this. I'm gonna show you how God works. Anyway, remember this. I heard the voice loud and clear, create it. I told the story before, create it, heard it loud and clear. Now you're not talking to me, that was me. You're not talking to me, like I'm not creating nothing. That's not what I do. I'm the girl that's just vlogging her life and her weight loss journey. What the heck am I doing creating a planner? That was my instant like no. I heard the voice loud and clear, big strong voice inside of me, create it. It's not my voice. I don't sound like a man. It wasn't me. Create it. All right, I'm like, I don't know how. Literally, pictures flashed in my mind. I saw Google, I saw YouTube. Just literally in my mind, vividly, like as if I'm on the computer, vividly played in my mind. Within 48 hours, I had the format of my digital planner done. Within 48 hours, I never went to school, never went for graphics, for design, for none of that. Nothing. Within 48 hours done. And within 72 hours, I had a website. Woo! God, when I tell you God, okay, hold on to that. Planners came out in 2023. I dropped the planner. I know now that was a test to see if I was really going to be obedient. So the planners come out. The sales are decent. I didn't really promote my digital planners in 2023. But the people that did get it, I was getting so much like, yo, your planners, is literally saving my life right now. Like I have screenshots of testimonies of people emailing me like, you did that. Like when I tell you thank you, I could not have asked for a better planner. Like honestly, the way this came out, the way you did it, like the feedback was enough for me. And I didn't care about promoting it or sales or anything like that. I only cared that I listened to what God said and that it was serving me, right? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't care. All right, people coming back like, yo, your planner, like honestly, this is so good. Now when I did put, like I did like one promotional video, like, hey, I came up with planners, like this was a vision from God, blah, 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 blah. In the video, I said that I'm going to do physical ones. I'm gonna have physical ones. And my physical ones are going to look like this. They're going to look like that. Blah, 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 blah. I thought I was going to have physical ones that year. Did not have it that year because it was not the complete planner. It was not the complete download. In the middle of 2023, I get another download in how to really structure my planners. And in the summer of 2023, God was like, produce that. That's what you're producing. Now, I'm going to backtrack Before that, I'm going to backtrack. Before I even get the new download of the planners, the digital planners are out, I woke up one morning with a feeling of overwhelming gratitude. And I heard the Holy Spirit tell me, pick up your camera, record this. So I start spewing and I'm on camera. Like I'm the girl like, oh, I'm not gonna go on camera crying. I'm on camera vlogging it. I'm on camera vlogging that I had a revelation. I now know my purpose. I know what I'm about to do and I know what God has for me. I start vlogging that revelation like God's chosen me. Like he gave me a mission and he's chosen me. Now like to some people like, how you know God chose you? Y'all, and this is where it takes a turn because I was praying one morning. I woke up praying one morning and my eyes closed and I'm taking deep breaths. You know, I'm centering myself because that's something I started learning how to do, is how to go within myself to prepare myself for what's to come. My mind, my mental, my emotion, my spiritual, and my physical. I started to learn how to go inside myself and center myself and become one with God. In that, I'm breathing, I'm praying, you know, and, you know, I'm like, amen, about to open my eyes, but my eyes cannot open. And I see a bright white light in my eyes. I'm fully awake. Keep this in mind. I'm fully awake. It's the morning. I'm fully awake. I'm up. I'm opening my eyes after my prayer. I cannot open my eyes. My eyes will not open for nothing. Like a white bright light starts flashing in my eye. White bright light flashes in my eye. And I am transported into a vision. Hear me. I can, not only I'm watching it unfold, but I'm experiencing it at the same time. It was trippy. Till this day, it trips my mind how I'm here in this timeline on my bed, but I get transported to another timeline. It's me. I'm watching me and feeling and living through me at the same time. I don't know how to explain it, but God begins to give me a very vivid experience and a vision. He shows me everything that's mine and that's coming for me. Everything that he has for me. Everything. I'm trying not to get emotional, but he let me experience it, let me see it, let me feel it, let me understand the vision, the purpose, what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go. I mean, when I tell you I'm here in my room that I'm filming it right now, but I'm not. I am somewhere else. My body's here, but my spirit gets catapulted to a different version of me, a different life of me, a future version of me. And when I say he let me feel, let me see, I was on that bed physically crying in my flesh, but I could feel me crying. And I can still feel me experiencing everything that God is letting me experience in this vision. Like, he literally transported me. Science would call it quantum leaping, but what science called quantum physics and quantum leap, I call God. Baby, what science called quantum physics and quantum leaping, I call my God. Okay? God. Literally, when I tell you, I came out of that vision. I came out of that experience, that vision, bawling my eyes out, bawling, filled with gratitude, filled with love. And I pick up the camera, I vlog it, but I didn't tell my vlog what was going on with me. I didn't tell my vlog like the overwhelming sense of like, this is what happened, because I immediately know like, oh, I'm not supposed to say what it was. I'm not supposed to, you know, but the only thing I was able to say was like, I'm about to be a boss. I'm gonna have a brand. I'm gonna be a boss. I'm breaking generational curses. And God is using me as a testimony. Now, and I'm saying that to say everything that he has, every door he's opened up, everything he's given me, every platform he's given me was always, it just fell in my lap. I never had to try. I never had to, it was taken away. It was snatched away when I was in the wrong company, when an enemy was trying to stop. And now the enemy is not the person. The enemy is the person was used by the enemy. When like, oh God, like it was that very experience that started. Like, no, my relationship with him started a little prior to that, to me saying, all right, God, I'm gonna listen to you. Whatever you say, you're telling me to do, I'm gonna do. It was that very experience, though, that really started and cultivated the deep, intimate relationship that I'm cultivating with God right now. Because it was in that I understood my assignment. I understood why God gave me the gift of tongue, gave me the gift of discernment, gave me the gift of knowledge. There was this pastor that I was praying, and he was like, you know, if you have any shadow of a doubt that God is using you to, you have a work in ministry, like a field in ministry, like God is using you to do work, whether you're going to be a preacher, a pastor. And he said the word evangelizer. I didn't know what an evangelizer was. Now I'm watching this online, like thoroughly, and he's like, even if you're watching online, put your hands up. I'm about to pray, and I'm about to pray over you because the Holy Spirit was leading him to do it. Now, how I came across this pastor, that's a whole nother story. Oh my God. When I tell you, like, everything in my life is just like God. It's proof. Just proof. Everything's proof. God. Like, I can't make it up. So he starts. I didn't know what an evangelizer was. I didn't know. I know it's like a big, I don't know, like, I'm gonna say a churchy word, right? I know it's like a churchy word, but I didn't know the meaning of an evangelizer. I've heard the word before, but I didn't know what it was. I don't know what an evangelizer is. Literally, he's like, you have to know what, he's like, no, if you know without a shadow of a doubt, like, don't, and he's like, don't play me, no, without a shadow of a doubt. You have to know that everything you know, that's what you're called to be. So he was like preacher, pastor, evangelizer, prophetess. And when he said the word evangelizer, I heard, that's you. I heard, that's you. So I literally opened my heart, I opened my mouth, and I'm saying the prayer. I'm repeating the prayer like that's my calling. And I start crying because I'm saying, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God. In this moment, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God, yes, God. Yes, I say yes, I say yes. Girl, say yes to what? You don't even know what that means. I had looked up the meaning of the word evangelizer, and I find out what an evangelizer is, and I immediately knew. I said, that is me. And I sat there stunned. And I, like, in that moment, I knew, like, God's just like, welcome home. You're on path. Now you do the work. The funny thing is, I sent it, I told my man, I was like, yo, look at the word evangelizer. Look at the word evangelizer. This man smirks. Like, all he did was like, that's all he did. And I was like, I know, right? I said, I know, right? He was like, you don't even know why I did that. And I was like, that's me. And he was like, that is you. That is you. And he was like, congratulations. You're in your purpose. I said, I'm in my purpose. I'm in my purpose. I went from the girl that was contemplating taking her life. Thinking that she had nothing to live for, to the girl that, to anybody that will hear my story, I'm going to scream it from the rooftop. That I'm going to keep living the testimony out. To the girl that just, in everything that I do, like, I see God in everything now because he's right here with me, like, in everything, like, oh God. And I'm trying not to, but honey, now I don't know what everything always means, or I'm still learning, and I'm being trained and stuff like that. But I know one thing, that I trust in God with all my heart and my soul and my understanding. So when he's talking and communicating, I trust and I'm listening. Like, I'm at a place where it's sheer obedience. One of my favorite scriptures, Isaiah 48, where God's saying, I'm the one teaching you to benefit yourself if only you would listen to my commands. Jeremiah 29, where he says, for I know the thoughts that I'm thinking of you, the life that he wants you to have of abundance and stuff like that. The plans that he has for you, he means it, for he knows the plans he has for your life. And remember, I said I got these downloads of what I need to do, what he told me to do. Make my planners, make the digital, make the physical. This is how you have to formulate it. This is how you have to do it. Didn't understand why. That's not me. I'm the girl that's just documenting her weight loss journey, vlogging her life. Do I help people? Yes. I cook. I'm in the kitchen teaching you how to eat, how to get better, how I'm doing it, how, like, you know, because I was almost 500 pounds. I'm not anymore. You know, how this is going. Like, this has been my path. Like, my platform has been about that. Now, all of a sudden, God is telling me, guiding me, telling me this is what you need to start doing. This is what I need you to do. You. Why me? Exodus 31:3, for I will fill him with the spirit of God, giving him knowledge and understanding of every type of artistic craftsmanship. I knew my downloads were from God. I knew the vision was from God. I knew, but I knew deep down, but it was like, there was still a part of me that still kind of felt like, girl, you're bugging. Like, God talking to you, like, God's using you. Yes, me. Why not me? Lo and behold, Exodus 31:3. He is the one. When you get those downloads, when you get like a knowledge of something, it just comes to you, baby. It is part of your purpose. Obedience. They exist in the real world. Obedience. Like, obedience. I have the brand. I have it. It manifested. Everything he told me to do, it exists. It's here. It's real. My brand is growing and thriving. It's helping people. The feedback, like, I didn't know why. It's not what I do. I didn't know, like, I had no idea, like, none at all whatsoever, like, why? But I listened. It's here. And my encounter with God is very real. And everything that I do, like, and honestly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, I know it's about to get real with me. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because I find myself, I'm in a, like, and I hate to say the word, like, I'm prophetically speaking things, like, saying, if it's within your will, and it's coming, it's just, when you living in obedience, like, when God says, I'm gonna put you high on the mountaintops, like, in the cities, like, I'm gonna lift you up, I'm gonna put you high, you just gotta put me first. When God's saying that, like, when God's saying put the kingdom first and everything else will follow, yeah. I met him, I saw him, I speak to him, I spoke to him. He also says in Jeremiah that you're gonna come seeking him with all your heart, and he's gonna let you find him. You're gonna pray to him, and he's gonna listen. You're gonna, like, he's gonna reveal himself to you. I am a firm believer. I am walking, living proof that he does it. I have experienced it. I continue to experience it. I will keep continuing to experience it. He's very much real, without a shadow of a doubt.
Hey besties, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Originally, this video was a testimony that I was sharing with TikTok. I'm sorry that it is in the 9:16 video format versus the 16:9 YouTube format, which is crazy because a lot of you have been here through it all. My prayer for you is that you wake up and recognize that God is with you, and that no matter what the situation may look like right now, the enemy does not have the final say so. God does.